Welcome to Leverage Your Spark, the podcast that helps business and organizations optimize their systems to save time and increase productivity. I'm Brandy Lawson, your host, and in this 5-part series, we'll be discussing how to make informed decisions when selecting a tool, app, or software service. Each episode will cover one aspect of this evaluation process. These steps are meant to be used together to guide you to a decision. So tell me, have you ever found yourself lost in the sea of software possibilities? It can be really disorienting to just bob around without an anchor or bearings. But before you deep dive into the nitty-gritty of software features, price comparisons, or even reviews, there's a crucial first step that often gets overlooked in this decision-making process. You need to figure out if this app is a solution or a distraction. So, back in the mid-'80s, my parents ran a restaurant, and my dad coded his own programs for running payroll and tracking sales. I know. But in those days, there were 0 options for software. If you wanted something, you had to create it. These days, we've got the opposite problem, right? There are too many options, and shiny object syndrome is a real problem, and it can cloud your decision-making process. To overcome the lure of shiny objects, the key question to ask yourself is, does this solve a problem you actually have? It's tempting to get distracted by tools that might solve future problems, but timing is everything. Sometimes you might encounter solutions that could solve problems you may have in the future, but it's essential to remember that the value of software comes from how it is used, and it takes time and resources to do that. It isn't likely you'll be able to fully implement a solution right now if it's not addressing a problem you've got. However, as you find these potential gems, I do encourage you to create a resource so that you can have a future reference to easily find this information when you need it. Okay? So, how do you know if this thing you're looking at is a solution or a distraction? First, you need to determine if it solves a problem you have and if that problem is worth the investment of implementing the software. So here are a few questions that can help you find your answer. So first, if you really want to shortcut the stuff, do a gut check. You likely already know if this is a solution or distraction and don't even need the rest of these questions. Okay, fine. So maybe you're not clear with your gut. So 2, does this solve a problem your business is currently experiencing? Like right now, this month. Number 3, how big is the problem this would solve? It's not always easy to put a dollar amount on a problem, but if you can do some napkin math here on how much time is it taking per week or per month, and times that by some sort of hourly rate, or you can also consider the costs that the current system is causing in terms of mistakes or lost revenue. Cool? All right. And then number 4, what would it take to implement the solution in terms of actual dollars? Like the software fee, and if you need a consultant to implement, and the time spent by you, the team, vendors, and clients. Does the cost of the problem outweigh the cost of the implementation? So these questions will help you evaluate the right tool and avoid distractions. Shiny objects. If you feel like the answer is somewhere in the middle, don't worry. You can use a score from 1 to 5 for the app you're evaluating, with 1 being a clear distraction and 5 being a solution. If you've got a score of at least 3 here, then tune in to the next episode for the second evaluation step. By taking time to really evaluate a tool before you commit to it, you can avoid the unnecessary distractions and increase productivity. By following our framework, you'll be able to select a tool that solves your problem, meets your requirements, and fits your budget of time or money. In the next 4 episodes of this series, we'll dive into those remaining steps to help you make informed decisions when choosing a tool, app, or software service. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and share it with a friend or fellow entrepreneur. Everyone deserves to have less stress and more impact. In the next episode, we're continuing with our part 2 of this 5-part series on how to make decisions when it comes to those apps, tools, and software services. So just go ahead and do your future self a favor and subscribe to Leverage Your Spark on your preferred podcast platform. You can also find us and subscribe and share at leverageyourspark.com.